Hello, it's Classy here back with another Tribes video, and today we'll be doing a showcase of a 5-star UR KLM Link mode Naruto. Shout out to Karingan for providing the clips. His Naruto is level 109, tier 18, with 85,000 total power, and this will be more than enough for the purposes of this showcase, and he should do a ton of damage in Arena today. Before we begin, 2 announcements for the game itself. First, the Shinobi Genealogy Tales event has returned to the game, and you can see that when you log in. Basically, it's a 5-day event where you can earn UR frags for any Shinobi that you have, and it's really great because it allows people to build up their Shinobis that they may not have completed FG or Abyss events for. So it's a good way to catch up, and this was first introduced last banner with the FG event. So if the event actually comes back during every new banner, that would be a great way for the game to grow and improve, because a lot of players are happy about this, and it's a great way for players to build up their accounts, especially free-to-plays. Second, in the extra frags banner this time, we've noticed that when you pull duplicate URs, you actually get a lot more fragments than before, like 150. So that's also another great way to build up old units that you might have missed the events for. For example, let's say that you pulled Nagato, but it was after his banner when he was first released. That means that you missed out on all of those fragments you could have gotten from his FG event. Now, if you pull him again during this extra frags banner, you'll get a ton of extra frags, and you'll be able to star him back up. It won't be exactly as many frags as you could have gotten from that FG event, but you'll be able to rebuild him and get somewhat close. If you pull him multiple times, then you can definitely get him up to that point. So now that we've gone through this, let's hop into the showcase. First things first, as always, we have to look at the art, and this art is absolutely amazing. The KCM art was also really great, so I expected nothing less from this unit, especially since it's also a 1.5 anniversary special unit. So I'd like this art even more. This 5-star art has a lot of great animations, and you can see all the detail in the fire in his cloak and the Kurama in the background. So really great job with this. No strange poses or anything. Everything looks great. Now we can look at his stats, and you might notice that the critical damage increase rate is really high at 64%. So expect this character to do a ton of crit damage. His critical rate is 50%. So it's also a very high chance that he does this extra increased damage. And his damage increase rate really high as well, so he'll be doing really great base damage without crits. Overall, this is just a unit with tons of damage, and being an A unit, this is exactly what you want. Now, of course, he'll have some areas where he struggles, like the guard damage reduction rate, and critical suppression rate, so make sure to keep this unit protected, or else he won't be able to do as much damage if he dies early. Now let's move on to link bonuses. So we have Hinata and Neji, which makes sense because of them were fighting together during the war. Then Madara and White Mask Madara, so basically the villains in the beginning of the Void Shinobi War. Then Kakashi and B, also his allies and his mentors. So all of this makes a lot of sense. And the links themselves are pretty easy to get, actually. So Hinata and Neji are free. White Mask Madara is in the shop. I think B might be in the shop, but a lot of people have him because he's an OG unit. Same for Kakashi. I think he's in the shop as well as being an OG unit. Now Madara is going to be the hardest one to get for the HP link, and you just need to get lucky with pulls for him, but keep in mind that there'll be free multis and stuff that you can try to get him on. Now he has 2 tribes, First is those who dance in the shadows, and as you can see, Karingan has already been upgrading this tribe a lot because it's actually really good. It does single target tribe damage with a 60% chance to stun, and it boosts all allies attack by 18% for the rest of the battle, as well as all allies critical rate and guard rate by 28% for the rest of the battle. So this obviously could be used in Abyss, and it's similar to the Path of Hokage connected by Fist tribe because it has that stun, and it's a A-type tribe that can do a lot of damage as well. Now the cool thing about this tribe is if you look on the picture, there's actually a ton of shinobi there, so you can switch them out as you want. You can select any of them for this tribe in the third slot, as you can see in the picture. So you put Hinata, you put KLM, and then you pick one of the other shinobi there, depending on what you need for your Abyss run, and that's really cool. So make sure to try out this tribe if you're looking for another tribe option for Abyss. And make sure to check out that Abyss video guide as well for explanations on how to best use your tribe and your team and why tribes are important for Abyss. Now his second tribe is Bond Woven by Determined Lives, and this one allows you to also switch out Naruto's depending on which Naruto's you want to put in. Just make sure you have KLM Naruto and Kid Naruto. The third slot is more open, you can put the other Naruto's in. This tribe does AOE tribe damage with 50% extra damage to defense shinobi. It boosts all allies damage reduction rate by 20% for the rest of the battle, boosts all allies damage reduction rate by 22% for the rest of the battle, and boosts all ally stats effect rate by 5% for the rest of the battle. So this tribe is actually pretty decent, but it's not going to be too useful because it is an AOE tribe, and the buffs are just pretty good, but there are tribes that have better buffs for your team. So that's why we haven't been using this one too much yet, but maybe in the future there will be events where an AOE tribe will be more useful. So yeah, make sure to check out the first tribe out. Everyone should have at least one shinobi that can be placed in there, and actually I noticed that you can even put in shinobi that aren't in that picture, because I saw a guy earlier. So make sure to check out which shinobi you can actually put in that tribe. There's probably a lot of options. Now we can see his sprite on the screen as well, and his sprite looks really cool, just like the KCM sprite. He does not have 2 modes, notably. And let's just jump into his jutsu. He does AOE damage with 15% chance to stun, increases ally tribe gauge by 30, then boosts all allies damage increase rate by 16%, critical rate by 22%, then he lowers all enemies guard rate by 22%, and guard damage reduction rate by 17%. So this is a really great jutsu. The AOE stun on an A unit is unprecedented, I believe, and he'll do a ton of damage, and if he doesn't kill anyone, he'll stun them, which might be even better. Tribe gauge boost is just a bonus on top of that, because you can never go wrong with the extra tribe gauge, so you can do more co-ops in PvP, and this also allows for more tribes in Abyss, and also it allows for him to replace some of the other tribe gauge boosters for FG and ATB, because he actually does better effects on the side than the other units do. And we're talking about, like, you know, Jiraiya, Blossom, etc. And this is for FG and ATB. So I mentioned this in yesterday's video with the tier list update, but you can definitely put him in ATB, and he can serve as your tribe gauge booster, or one of them if you're using multiple, and he'll do a great job as a secondary buffer because of the damage increase rate and critical rate boosts. Now these aren't permanent, but they will last for 2 turns. And he also debuffs the enemy, which is even better because you can do more damage to them. So last 2 turns as well. And yeah, you know, as more units come out, there'll be a lot of effects, and sometimes the effects are just a mouthful. So now for his second skill, he will deal regular second skill damage, increase his own chakra by 3500, and then boost attack by 12% for all attacks Robi on your team for the rest of the battle. So this is actually a really good second skill, even though people don't care about second skills that much. But it combines two second skills basically, because it increases his own chakra by a significant amount. Then it permanently buffs attack for attack shinobi. So this is great. And we'll see later with the vitality, he might use his second skill a bit more often, but if you ever do, it's still a great benefit. Now for his fourth skill, he boosts all active allies damage increase rate by 13% when he's active at the start of the turn, boosts all active allies critical rate by 14% when he's active at the start of the turn, and boosts all active allies critical damage increase rate by 12% if he's active at the start of the turn. So this is a pretty good fourth skill. It's not permanent, but it boosts all the active allies that are with him for that turn, so 3 units. And this is pretty important buffs, like the critical damage increase rate is not commonly buffed from the other units in the game, and the other percentages are okay, so I can't say this is like extremely broken for a fourth skill, but it does the job well for an A unit, and the jutsu is the main power that this unit holds. Let's see if we can check out the LB2 as well. Here it is. So he boosts all allies damage increase rate and critical rate at the start of any turn after an ally has been defeated. So this is great. It's definitely better than the LB2s where he has to be defeated to apply an effect. First off, I almost thought it said that for a second. But instead, after any of your ally has been defeated, this will trigger right after on any turn, and it gives some more boosts similar to the ones from the fourth skill. So I don't think these numbers are that high either. It's pretty helpful, but it's nothing too crazy. Again, the jutsu is where this unit really shines. And if we want to see the jutsu in action, we're going to hop into arena right after we check out the vitality. Here we go. So at level 20, increase chakra by 1,000 at the start of each turn after the second turn. So there are other A units like this with this vitality. For example, Kid Sasuke, I think. And it's not too good, but it's not too bad either. I think Tobirama is also an AOE unit that has this vitality. So you'll have to be careful about placements for FG and ATB, because they won't have enough chakra to jutsu on turn 2. So you have to put them either like all the way up in the fourth cell and use his skill 2 on turn 1, or you put him in the energy cell for turn 3 to jutsu. And for arena and PvP, he'll have to wait a little bit before he can actually jutsu, so you have to keep him protected, or else he'll just die right away, and that's obviously not good because he won't even get any of the benefits from his AOE attack. So this definitely brings the unit down. Like if he had the initial 5k vitality, he would be like pretty broken, but for now he has this vitality, so he's still a good unit, and we'll have to see the impacts of this in arena, which we'll head into right now. Alright, so now we're here with the arena battle. And you can see that he is placed in the spirit cell. So let's get to force and energy. Pretty standard stuff. Energy to protect side, force with the KCM and the AOE combo. Now for spirit, have a lot of stuns and protection. for KLM here. We can see his fourth skill triggering. So critical damage increase rate up, critical rate up, damage increase rate up for the Spirit Cell. And he has enough chakra, luckily, because this is turn 3. So he'll also be able to G. And yeah, the animation is absolutely insane for this character also. He looks way better than the others in my opinion. And here we go, so we can see it's pretty solid damage. He hit a crit on KCM, and then he debuffs the enemies and also increases some of his allies' stats, like the critical increase rate up, I think. Or actually, no, that's critical rate up and damage increase rate up. Right. Then for the enemies, it's guard rate down, guard damage reduction rate down. This will also allow the 2 units behind him to hit harder. So you see one at them first, him being an AOE stunner, also a debuff. So there we go. You see that UR Heavy also hit a crit. And he actually barely took any damage. So that's great. Protected well in that cell. So now we have PCM doing a ton of damage. You know, when Wales do PCMs, they really go all in on that. And same for Santa. So he just completely like that cell. Damage. Obviously Kakashi still an insane nuker after all these months. And I don't think we're actually going to see KLM attack again, unfortunately, because of that Confuse. So thanks to the opponent's Santa, Naruto, we have to go again. So same situation here, except this time Spirit is going second. That also means that KLM will not be able to succeed. Maybe he'll have a skill 2 here. You can see his 4th skill trigger, boosts his cell. No skill 2, okay. Ooh, regular attack looks great. Never actually seen that. Time travel Sasuke has 5k energy, so he can do so turn 2. And let's just go through until we can see KLM again, because we got confused. Thanks to Santa once again. There we go. Now we can see KLM and KCM. Another KLM 4th skill trigger. There's the animation again. Looks great. Three crits here, and he buffs the offensive stats for his allies, and then debuffs these 3. The damage isn't too crazy yet, but keep in mind that this is only 5 stars so far, and the opponent we're going against has a lot of buffed up units also. So he does his job well as a first unit himself. Now we haven't seen his stun yet. So unfortunately we don't show that, but he can stun. And debuffs obviously will always happen. Okay, so he's gonna go again, that's good. Maybe he'll hit a stun if he doesn't finish off these units. Now this time we have the co-op damage boost also. There we go. That's what we like to see. Him completely wiping that cell clean. And good damage for an AOE. Crits once again, so he'll be critting all the time. And there you go. No stun necessary. And you win the battle right there. So hopefully this video shows you guys the potential for KLM and where you should use him on your teams for which modes. So thank you guys for watching. See you at the next one.